Hi there, welcome. So this is going to be like my first proper video. I hope you're going to be patient with me. I'm filming this from Bali in Amit, and this is really where my favorite mountain is. It's called Mount Agung. There it is behind me, and it's such a powerful mountain, and somehow my soul just runs to it. And I find it really super amazing that it wants to run to it today, where I'm going to film my first video. So that's amazing. The intention behind this video is to share with you a little bit how I got to Bali and what I'm doing here. About 2 years ago, exactly, let's say 4th of April 2019, I had what I would call, for me personally, the lowest point in my life. I felt like it just can't get any lower in terms of my self-worth, the power I felt within me. Life had just brought me to this place where I just stood there thinking, what? And that's where everything started turning around. I started watching a lot of videos which actually explained also sometimes you're going with a flow in life and you just like, where did I end up? And how do I get back to at least where I was? And let's start a new journey. About a month after that realization, where I actively said to the universe, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to change the version of me that brought me to that low, even though that low version can justify so well to be a victim. There are no victims. We're all creators. So even though there was this whole victimized story I had on that 4th of April 2019, I knew I had to find my creatorship. That means I had to own every part of me that might have brought me there. So to continue, about a month later, I drew to me a lady who was offering Playmobil family constellations. Like, it's something that they do. It was something completely new, and you use these Playmobil figures to kind of figure out problems in your life. Something I really didn't know, and I must say I was really judging. I said, well, what can a Playmobil figure do for me? Around that time in my life, I used to channel. So I used to channel like higher knowledge from higher selves of other people, and I had vocal cords that could translate the energy, and I would share this with the person in front of me. So we did the barter. I channeled for her about an hour and a half about her life situation, and then she did the Playmobil constellation for me. She asked me, what do you want to do the whole constellation on? And I shared with her, I'd like to have some direction about my life and figure out what the hell am I going to do after all this. And she was very intuitive. She said, well, I think you're doing something already. And I said, yeah, I kind of have this yoga product. It's called Meditation and Yin Yoga, and I'm putting it together as Medyin. And she's like, that's what we need to do it on. And your whole thing has to be around that. And so we continued. In this practice, if you had a vision, you needed to put down all the things that would be part of that vision. And then we went ahead. I said, yes, there's a retreat center that I can imagine, a healing center, and these are the things I can imagine in it. That means maybe something to do with neuroscience, something to do with breath work. And all these modules I started to mention to her, and then she wrote them down. As we proceeded with the practice, she asked me to pick out Playmobil figures from a bag she had. And that's a long story for another day, where I'll have Babel also on one of the interviews. But we picked out one because she'd insisted that I should have Bali in the equation. This was like 2.5 years ago, and I had so much resistance to opening a center here. It's not one of the easiest places in my belief system at that time. And I picked out the figure of Frankenstein with all his plasters, and I held the figure in my hand and I said, it's really, really scary. It's big, but there's so much warmth, and I have no choice. I have to. And that's how I ended up here, because she said to me later, all those words you're saying intuitively is about you going to Bali to open this healing center. Fast forward 2 years, I'm on a land, feeling in every cell of me, this is it. I don't need at this stage to tell you what's been happening in those 2 years, but I tell you, life really started to say, you want that? Here's what you need to change. And there was a big part of me that really needed to die for me to even think about and move forward with this. That's what's bringing me to Bali. We have beautiful land here to open this healing center. We're bringing together beautiful people who also have similar visions, either on this land or all over the world. And I'm so just excited that we can just share these visions that people have had in different ways. Some of them, it's still in their mind. Some of them, it's in their heart. Some of them, like me, it's out in Playmobil figures. But we really want to also share this vision and to see and sense what's happening in the world, and why are so many of us also tapping into this grid, knowing that there is a bigger level of, let's say, mainstream healing centers that are going to come now. Personally, for me also, in this session I'd done with Berbel, we had to set a timeline. So I remember in April 2019 saying to her, okay, just randomly, we'll do it 2020, just because the numbers seemed nice. So 20th of December 2020. And there I was on the 20th of December 2020, already on Bali, at a silent retreat center, waiting to just do whatever I was supposed to do. And here I am today, opening this YouTube channel to just connect with the world. It's just exciting, and I'm really curious to see what this all brings together. I hope you enjoy the material that I want to share with you. I love you lots. Thank you for showing up.